Hi everyone, my name's Julie. I'm an independent Kaszazz consultant based in Morwell, Victoria in Australia. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card. I have to admit it's not my design, it was designed by my lovely friend and fellow consultant Natalie Pecovnik. So we're going to be using our new Mandala collection. This is the medium sized Mandala stamp in the Mandala Uncut set. So I'm just inking this up with Distress ink, aged mahogany. So always looking at your stamp as you ink it up and tapping all over with your ink pad and make sure it's well inked. This ink pad is getting a little bit dry, so I'm just making sure it's well inked. We're going to stamp this just to the left hand side, roughly in the centre, like so, and hanging off the left a little bit here. Giving it a firm, even pressure. You don't need to mash it through the table though. So there we have our Mandala stamp. I'm then going to stamp with this beautiful border stamp using the Archival ink watering can. So we're inking that up right across the stamp. But then we're only going to stamp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 of the little rise sections onto the card, trying to get it straight. So always line your stamps up straight on your acrylic blocks, and then you can use your acrylic blocks on your card to determine how straight it is. And above that we're going to stamp with the Archival ink Jet Black, and we're going to stamp this new stamp that says wishing you a happy birthday. So once again, looking at your stamp so you can see how much ink you've got on it. Tapping it on. This one's quite juicy, so it doesn't take much. And this is one of our acrylic blocks with the grid lines, so that can also help you line up to get your stamps straight. And that's just going on there, just above the border. That's a little bit smudged, but it's okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to emboss that with our new Mandala stencil. Our stencils are really nice and thick and sturdy, and they can be used in the Ezy-Press, which is what we're going to do with that today. So I'll just pop this here. So our Ezy-Press is the Kaszazz die cut and embossing machine. I'm just going to have to put that on an angle there so that I can wind it through. So we've got our pink base plate, our black embossing plates, and our black foam pad. We're going to pop the card on the foam rubber pad and then put the stencil over the top. And what I'm actually doing is lining up the centre of that Mandala stamp with the centre of the stencil there, and the stencil is covering all the edges of the card. If you don't cover the edge of the card, if your stamp's up a bit high, you'll end up with a line across here, and that will be okay because you'll be able to, the line will end up across here where the edge of the stencil is. You'll be able to cover that with your ribbon later, but mine is going to line up okay. So I'm just going to pop that there and pop the pink pad on top, pop it in and just wind it through. Now the Ezy-Press does have cogs inside it, which makes it easier to wind through. It's a little bit slippery because I've got on my non-stick craft sheet, so I'll just hold that as I wind it through. As I said, I've got it on a weird angle because I need to avoid the tripod for the camera. So just wind it through with the Ezy-Press. You only need to wind through once. Take that away. And now we have the raised section, which hopefully you can see that, the beautiful Mandala stencil embossed on our card front. Now we're going to use the ink blending tool with a replacement foam on it, using the same aged mahogany distress ink that we used before. The ink blending tool, you just tap it on your ink pad, and then working on your non-stick craft sheet, just start in circles. This helps to evenly distribute the ink on your ink blending tool, and if you just come in circles onto your card, you don't then get straight edges. You want to keep working in circles all the way around your card, and you can see where the raised sections are. It's bringing up more of the colour. So I'll just lift that up so that you can see that on here. It's picking up the colour on the raised sections and also giving us a nice edge to the card. So just blending lightly, you don't need to push down too hard at all. And just blending all the way around your edges. If you wanted to, you could just go over the raised sections again and bring it in further, but I think I'll just leave it at that for this one. Then what we're going to do is we are going to tie a ribbon around it. So I've got some of our seam binding ribbon here. I'm going to pop that around and tie it in a knot. So just like this. Tie a little knot. Now if you're no good at getting them nice and tight, don't worry. Just tie it, doesn't matter if it's a bit loose. I'm just going to shuffle it across to the other side there. Get it where you want it. And then on the back, you can just tape it down. It doesn't matter if this bit is a bit loose here. Once you've taped it down, you're not going to see that anyway. So we're just applying some double-sided tape. On cards, I really feel you only need 2 strips of tape, one along that side, pulling that ribbon tight, and another piece of tape along this side. And it's a good idea to wipe your craft sheet here. I forgot to grab something to wipe it with, so I'll just move it across a bit, because you've got ink on your craft sheet here from doing the blending, so you don't want to get that on the back of your card. So make sure you work in a clean area. I'm just going to fold the card in half. So I just line up the edges against my fingers, pop it down, give it a bit of a crease, and then using the bone scorer, just run that along. And if you want to, just fold it back the other way. Just gives you a more crisp fold. Then we can make little tabs with the tape, so you can see this little bit sticking out. This is a great little trick if you're no good at lining up your cards. So you make your little tabs, hold down the corners that aren't tabbed. Oh, that card is not folded very square at all. Let's try that again. That's a bit better. So yeah, you can push down on the ones that aren't, and you can swirl it around this way, and when you get it in the position where you want it, you can then push down on those corners that are sticky, and then just pull the tabs out and press it down so you end up with it down. Now we're just going to finish the card off just by cutting the ribbon. Oops. The scissors are being temperamental tonight. Let's try some others. That's better. So just cutting the ribbon off a bit shorter. We're going to add a bit of bling. Now these rhinestone strips come in packets with 6 long strips, and what I tend to do, if you want them individually, cut them off and just cut in between, because they are a strip joined together, and if you just cut in between them, then you can use them individually, which is what we want to do on this card. And they've stuck on my scissors, but that's okay. I just use the paper piercer to pick them up when they're not all stuck together. If you pick them up with the paper piercer, it allows you to place them where you want them, and then you can just push down and get them into place. If you try using your fingers, I always find I can't see where I'm placing them, so it's much easier to line them up this way. And I'm just placing them along that pretty little border there. Get these other ones off the strip. And we'll put another one in the centre of the mandala too, I think. Although I might put a larger one on there. We'll see how we go. There we go. And that's our card made. Quick and easy, but very effective. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to know more information about Kaszazz, please get in touch. I will list my website and details below. Thank you.